When you're talking about the church in your other life, I know that really rings a bell to you. And I'd asked very pointedly from Dr. here, Reverend Joya, to tell us, did the church lose its prophetic voice and discernment in the moment that we were actually having this government come to power, because the church was fully involved in this? They were satiated in prayers. We saw also verses were quoted during their particular at Bomas, you remember, when now we had the announcement of the presidential results. Fred Ogola.
Yeah, first of all, let me just say something short.
Sure.
That in 2008, when we went to The Hague, do you know that the president was an ICC suspect? His lawyer is the current deputy, and the witness was the current DCI. Which kind of state are we having? Are you saying that this is true, that facts don't lie, isn't it? Mm-hmm. In 2008, the president was a suspect of ICC. Mm-hmm. His lawyer is the current DP. Mm-hmm. And the witness was Ibrahim Mohammed Amin. So I said this thing in 2022, actually this was said in live media, and I said that the question for the election was never who has a good manifesto. Because Kenya Kwanza manifesto, I did a similarity test. There's a tool we call Turnitin. You put them together. They were 98% similar. So that's why you can see now ODM and UDA don't have a problem being together. Their manifesto was the same. The only thing we needed to ask that, whom can you trust with the state? If Debalam to leave this room urgently, can I leave my wallet with you, or with Professor Menya, or Dr. Njoya? I think I leave my wallet with Dr. Njoya. I don't know about you. What I'm trying to say is, an election question is, whom can you trust with treasury? You know the word treasury, first of all, there's a treasure that is given to a treasurer, a trusted person, isn't it? Right. Who will treasure it? A country is a treasure, is a hidden treasure in Kenya in terms of people, in terms of the youth, the intelligent people. The church entered in a mixed grill. You know, a mixed grill, when you go to a restaurant, you order mixed grill, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Which means you're eating chicken plus pork, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Plus meat, plus mutton. The church must have violated, they could have eaten what they should eat. By coming to endorse anybody, the church made a mistake. And I think that we need a national convention, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So that we can know who went wrong. Because not only Ruto went wrong, many people went wrong. There are so many people went wrong. People should come back to the table, and actually the church should acknowledge where they went wrong. They preached this man. They sold this man. I was in Azimio communication, Debal. I was in shows with some of those pastors. They would not listen. They even funded it. So when I saw the guy saying, I'm sorry, during the National Prayer Day, then 2 days later, he's this guy. The problem, according to me, I think, because I'm not here to talk about problems, because I'm a governance expert. The fact that the policemen are in charge of internal affairs, interior. That's why we have Minister for Interior, Minister for Defense. The interior is to ensure that the citizens are safe and their property. Now that goons, which are inside the government, have become external aggressors, I'm sorry to say, the military need to come back, need to come and now protect citizens, because they have allegiance to the citizen, the civilian. Because if the president cannot do what he needs to do, remember, in the State of the Nation address, the president must tackle the issue of national security, rule of law, economics, isn't it? And how people are surveying healthcare, education. Those ones are very important things he has to do. They have failed, Sodebal. The reason why we are having Ojwang dead, why we are having our brothers suffering, Wakina Rex Masai, those people have been killed, abducted and the rest, is one thing people don't know. Is a systemic failure in government. When you can't perform as a head of state, you become existential risk. Just like the ball, if you're at home and your husband, and you can't perform. Kids can't be taken to school. Your wife is not happy in every department or at home. You know, there are so many departments at home. If he's not happy in all departments, they turn to you, and then they start asking you to perform. What you do, you take a gun and shoot them. You start banging tables. You start kicking them. You start being a drunk and misbehaving. You become abusive. We are having abusive relationship because they can't deliver. And you ask an important question. How did a police, after even the death of Ojwang, open a trigger on somebody? DeBala have done some research for the last 4 days, and I can tell you there are 4 fundamental problems that the police system have. First, there's the leadership issue, which is obvious. I don't want to explain it because this is obvious. The second one, there's a problem which we are tribalizing the police, whereby some people believe that if you are an IG from Nyeri, from Madeira, you cannot be heading the police service. And these are facts. The war between Kanja and Langat is what has led to the death of Ojwang, because some people wanted to frame Kanja, and then you want to use people to frame this person, then this person gets annoyed, and then he opens fire. You understand? That is, so Ojwang has been caught on the crossfire, and many young people have been caught on the crossfire. That's a talk about tribalizing it. I also can tell you a case whereby a police officer, I can even tell her name. Her name is called Charity Wangoi. She was in charge of the police in Mombasa. She comes from Madeira. They say is a relative to Gachagua. She had to be transferred from Mombasa to Meru because of the influence she was having there. You don't tribalize the police force. And anybody trying to do that is creating a risk. In fact, military people fight together as people of Kenya defending Kenya. Policemen should defend Kenya without knowing their tribe. When you tribalize police, you create a problem. The third one is the issue of something happened before people don't know the consequences. We merge the police, Kenya police, and AP. Sisi Wajaluo, AP tunaita Kanga. Unajua Kanga? Now, how are APs being promoted? Mtu ameenda recover people's chicken somewhere, the DO will promote them. You know, the DO and DC had a say in the promotion of the APs. Now he has been promoted to chief inspector, while without doing what's called promotional courses. There are courses in the Kenya police that when you're due for promotion, you must do. So if you're promoted by just going to recover cattle from a certain village, then you become a chief inspector, then you qualify to become an OCS. If you become a deputy inspector, you become now deputy OCS. So some of the people within the ranks of AP were promoted without promotional courses, and you could see a lot of problems when they are now doing diligence. How can a policeman not even know an order of doing OB? Then you think there's a joke. So there's a lot of battle there about the merger that took place between the Kenya police. Kenya police tend to be a bit more competent. Sorry to say these are facts clearly. The AP tend not to be, but there was a merger and they were mixed. So you could see some people became very senior with promotion from the AP level. Now they are in charge of the Kenya police, highly qualified, and the Kenya police can see glaringly a problem. I have a policeman in Mombasa who cannot even write a statement, and is in charge of the Kenya police who knows everything. Like if you meet this policeman, he does not even know any act that tells them, even criminal act, even how to collect evidence. They don't know what that there's a guidance or how to collect evidence. The last one